Hello and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to drop my pencil and then I'm going to try and do some perspective-y stuff today. I'm not going to do any planning at all, like you should when doing perspective. I'm just going to try to draw Banana Man from making his head big and then his body small down that way. We're gonna try our best. We're gonna see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna look good or I don't know if it's gonna look good, look bad. We're gonna kind of just see what happens, like I said. And we're gonna sure, that can be a sketch. I have no idea what I'm doing. All right. Draw a body that fits in there. He needs legs though. I didn't give that legs, that little tornado that I thought might help with perspective because I wasn't envisioning the perspective very well. Just put little sticks on it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna start over already. I know, crazy. Is that my... We're gonna pretend like that car didn't make sound. All right, just chuck that back. We're gonna start over. I lied. I am gonna plan like one thing out. All right, we're gonna go like this. Here's our feet, and then we're gonna try to make this bigger. And there we go. That's not a circle. That was supposed to be a circle. Because circle would look better perspective-wise, I think. I don't really know. I don't know what I'm doing. This is fine. I can do something out of this. I'm sure I probably, hopefully can. We're just going to kind of see what happens. He's just going to be standing here. I did think about putting him in some fancy pose. But then I was like, I don't want to look for any references. So I didn't. Also, I don't think I said I'm not doing it with a reference. That's actually a lie. I did look, well, not the no referencing. I did look for reference, but then I was like, I can't find any that I want to do, so I just didn't use any of them. Alright. Now, how the hell are we supposed to do this? How do people draw perspective? Like, how do people do this? I feel like I'm just making him weirdly shaped, not perspectived. I also don't know what I'm doing. I didn't have a pose in mind. I just knew I wanted his head to be large. Where are his arms gonna go? I just realized. I'm gonna restart again. You know, probably should have thought this through a little bit more, but thinking it through is a lot of work, and like I didn't feel like doing that. I just hit the record button. I'm gonna have to vacuum after this because I'm just wiping all these eraser shavings into the carpet. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Is there something we should do first? Should we even do that little spiral? I don't know. Should we do like perspective lines like ka-chow, 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 ka-chow? Should we do like these? That's a perspective grid, kind of. It's a shitty one, but it's kind of one. This is not 3-point perspective, though. I was going for 3-point perspective. Maybe we'll just draw Banana Man on a perspective grid. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. No, but I want to stick with the original idea of doing perspective. But if I add just perspective... Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. If I just add perspective to this isn't going to work, right? No. That's not going to work how I want it to because I didn't do the lines right. I also know this is a very sloppy perspective grid, but it's not like it needs to really be 100% correct. when I'm not drawing exactly on it anyways. At least I'm going to say that because I've literally never used a perspective grid for drawing. Well, that's a lie. I've used it for practice, like when I was practicing perspective before I ditched that because it got too confusing. My eraser is going to take serious hits today. What are we going to do? Oh, yeah, I was going to draw that clown. Well, I mean, it's too late. Well, I mean, it's not too late, but I already started this. I want to do perspective. I want to do it. So we're going to. Even if it's going to end up looking bad, I don't have a reference. I don't know what I'm doing. All those, to me, just sound like a bunch of fucking excuses. Don't want to make a bunch of fucking excuses, do we? No, we're just going to do this and see what happens. And since we're just doing it, we're just going to do it in whatever order we want. Whatever order I think will end up making the best product. Right. So we're going to give him that shoulder cover thing again, because I think I can get away with doing that now. Well, I don't really know if it's going to be easier or harder in perspective like this. I don't really know. We got to try to remember that we're drawing this, all of this mostly, from the down looking perspective. Right. Now, this is supposed to be a pumpkin, but we're just straight up not going to worry about that right now. That is not an important detail at the moment. You know what is an important detail? His arm. His arm existing. Bam, there's his arm. But how are we going to perspective his arm, like, down? I've got no fucking clue. But we can find it out, right? What are we doing? Well, let's go ahead and give ourselves a head. We could make him, like, looking up at us. Like, ooh, and we're looking down at him, right? We could do something like that. I really need to find, like, an actual, like, static way to draw his scar type thing. Because every time I draw it slightly differently. I guess I'd more just like to find a way that I can commonly draw it, because it's not actually meant to be the same. It's meant to change because it is constantly in the process of healing and cracking again, and cracks in different ways. He's not exactly looking up as much as I wanted him to. I kind of wanted him to be looking up like this much, so we are going to move his eyes. And I probably should be doing more of the body and like making sure the body's like right and stuff, but like I said, I'm gonna do this in whatever order I want, because it really don't matter. Alright, we are just kind of messing around this time anyways, because I got no expectations for this drawing. I am fully expecting this Tang to just look extremely off. But it should be funny enough. That's all we want. We want to have fun. That's the goal. Have fun drawing a stupidly perspective to drawing a Banana Man. That is today's goal. Alright. So far, we are achieving this goal. But that is so far. It could end up not being fun. We don't know. Just right now it is. But it might end up not being fun at the ender at the ender part. I don't know. I'm not there yet, so I can't say. I don't know how to draw his arm like at all, so we're just gonna kind of, it is what it is for his arm. Like, I don't know how to perspective an arm. It's gonna be what it is. We're just gonna leave it out for now and pretend like it's there with this cylinder. Okay? That's his arm for now. It actually probably needs to be down a little bit farther, but that's his arm for now. Now, his feet, I want his feet right here. So that means we need to draw his legs like this. And we need to draw this, including his shoulder thing, which we need to actually lessen his shoulder a little bit, which I don't actually know if we needed to, but I just wanted to. Bring this down all the way to his tootsies. Alright, you know, I don't think I'm going to actually erase this and, like, correct it a lot. I think I'm just going to correct everything as I'm drawing it. Because I don't think this is something I'm going to be able to make neat and super nice looking. I think it's going to be something I'm going to be able to make look decent. But, like, if I were to, like, this is not a sketch that I'm going to be able to turn into a really amazing drawing is what I'm trying to say. At least I don't think. So we're just going to kind of see where we get it, and then we'll, like, tell. But I don't really know. We're kind of just messing around, throwing lines down where it feels like we need a line. I've been doing that a lot more recently. I used to think a lot, like having to think a lot before I put down any lines, because I'm like, oh, where does this go? Where does this go? Where does this go? But recently I've been able to kind of ditch having to think about where I'm going to put every single line and kind of just place the lines. So I think that's got to mean that I'm getting better at drawing, right? That, or I've started to care less about being perfect. I don't know. I'm not a genius. I'm like just smart enough to realize that I'm pretty stupid. If that's about how smart I am. So this is kind of too short. I don't care. Not my problem. I mean, it is. It's literally no one but mine's. But we're going to pretend like it's not, because then I don't have to deal with it. It's a genius plan. If I just don't pay attention to it, it's not a problem at all. It'd be really funny if I gave him a sword right now, too, but I don't want to do that. I thought about it and thought, oh, that'd be funny, but then I also thought in the same thought as I was saying it, oh, but I don't want to do that, so we're not going to. Alright, there is a very shitty sleeve. I don't know what kind of shirt he's wearing in this. Loose, tight, I don't fucking know. I guess it's loose because there's lots of fabric. I just realized that I hadn't breathed in a while. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and put a shitty little hand in here. That's his hand. Don't pay attention to it. He's just a little guy, you know. There's his shoes. Look at them. Oh, look at them shoes. Oh, beautiful, right? Beautiful. Awesome. Look at that. Amazing. Okay, what now? I don't know. There's another spider. There's a lot of those tiny little spiders in my room. I don't think you can see that one. He just, yeah. Well, I don't even know where he went now. He went on my fucking mic cable, and I'm not gonna mess with that. There's a lot of those little spiders in my room. I wonder why. Probably because I keep letting them go. But that's fine. As long as they keep the other bugs out of my room, I really don't mind sharing a room with spiders. I am no longer scared of spiders. I used to be when I was like little, like every kid, you're scared of like everything. At least I was. But now it's like, why be scared of little spider? I'm much bigger than spider. Even if that spider bites me, it's not gonna kill me. What, some like minor discomfort? Maybe. And it's just gonna run away from me. Every time I see them and like try to interact with those spiders, they're just like, oh shit, the big one! The giant! And they run away. Alright. And I haven't been seeing very many big spiders in my room, though. Every once in a while, I used to see a couple of big, like, wolf spiders in my room, but now it's all just the little tiny black ones. There's actually a little daddy longleg that's been living on my trash can right there that I, like, never open or move, which I think is why he lives there. He just lives there. I don't know. I saw him win a fight against a little black spider earlier. That was awesome. It's awesome watching a spider fight. He won and then wrapped it up in the web. Awesome. Never seen a spider fight before. Greatest thing I've ever seen. That's not true, but pretty close. I don't know if that just means that spider fight was that awesome or if I have a boring life. We're gonna go with spider fight being that awesome. Alright. Boom. 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 Look at that. Look at that. Ow, I just scratched my arm and I'm sunburned. Yes, I am sunburnt. I have a weird sunburn. You see this little area right there? I don't even know if you can see it, but I'm not sunburnt in one little specific area. I can rub that area. It doesn't hurt. Like right here, that's sunburnt. That hurts. I don't know why I'm not sunburnt in one specific area. It's quite weird. I had nothing covering that area. I didn't even have my watch on, so. Well, I don't know how my watch would interact with that, but, you know, whatever. I guess the very high intelligence. What now? He does have a shirt on, like, underneath this. We can try to draw that. There we go. Honestly, we probably could have shortened this a little bit. Because, like, Arnim pointed out, kind of looks like a butt. Kind of looks like a butt. Alright, we're going to take this back to being a long pumpkin. Yeah, it's a little better. I don't know exactly how to perspective these pumpkins, like when I draw them. I've had trouble with that since I started drawing. I was going to say since I started drawing Banana Man, but I drew him pretty quick into my starting drawing. Yeah, that's Banana Man. Perspective Banana Man. I don't know, maybe tomorrow I'll try and do a perspective drawing, but I'll have references so I can actually do it maybe correctly. I'm still not going to look up how to do it or anything, or use any guidelines. I want to try to draw a little chibi Banana Man with a tiny body. Alright. Here we go. Very round. The rounder his eye is, the more nicer I'm trying to draw him. Because this triangle eye is meant to have somewhat sharp corners sometimes, because they do crack. Those corners do also crack. Alright. Which also I've changed what shape he's had for his second eye so many times. At first it was just another circle, then it was like a square, then it was just for a long time it was just a oval, which the Banana Man mask that I made, because I actually did make a costume for him so I could wear it for Halloween. That costume does actually have the long oval, because I had that one for probably the longest. That one, and also I did have the triangle eye at the time. It was just easier to do an oval, like to cut an oval into it, but to pretend like that's not true. But now it's a triangle because I was carving a pumpkin and I was like, you know what? The air shut off. It's quiet. I was like, you always cut triangles into jack-o'-lanterns. He's a pumpkin character. Let's do that as a little nod to jack-o'-lanterns. And now he's got a triangle eye.
Because the shape of his eyes literally does not actually matter to his character at all, because I constantly change them. Like, I mean, the shapes get changed for expression-wise. So it really doesn't matter. The only thing that's important is that he has a crack on this eye. And that's it. Alright. Now let's try and draw a little pumpkin. Make sure to get it correct. I forgot what I was doing, if I'm being completely honest, on like why I'm drawing this. Oh yeah, I wanted to draw a little body. Try and make it look like he was perspectived weirdly. And then I got sidetracked. Alright, I got this. Look. Ready? We're gonna draw a cylinder. And then we got a little cylinder right there. And this is Banana Man right here. Ready? Ka-chow. Bam. Bam. Put a shoulder pad on here. Boom. Looks beautiful. Then we give him his arm. Bam. Put that arm on a sword because he's just that cool. Oh yeah. Then give him his tiny little legs. And give him his little shoes. Oh yeah, look at him. Look at him go. Look at him. He's gonna go fight bad guys. He's one of the good guys. He's gonna go fight the bad guys. He's gonna go fight the plague or something. I don't know. He's gonna go fight an eldritch beast. I don't fucking know. And he will at one point, but that's a story for a different time. Alright, that's the end of this video. Bye! How long was this? 22 minutes. That didn't take that long. Subscribe.